Hey there, and welcome to episode 37 of Cast Reflect. I'm your host Josh, and I'm joined as always by Connell Luke the Truth Jennings.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm alright. You okay?
Yeah, I'm alright. I've got a cricked neck.
You got a crick neck this week.
Yeah, slept funny, so...
You do look a little bit rigid.
A bit stiff.
Yeah, you look a little bit rigid in the chair there.
Yeah, it's fine, I'm comfortable at the moment, as long as I don't move.
Yeah, as long as you don't move. Is that a pillow you've got?
Oh, the chair's always
Tied
had a
around.
pillow, mate.
Oh, is it?
Pillow's been there since day.
No, I never noticed that, to be fair.
Came with the chair.
I thought you'd got the pillow specifically because
Oh, no.
you cricked your neck.
No, I'm just making better use of it than I normally do.
Right, okay. How did you crick your neck?
Oh, it's just slept funny, man. It's getting old.
Just gave it a little crick in the middle of the night.
Getting old.
Yeah, sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not even that old.
Oh, mate, the chunk that's missing from arm's pretty funny, isn't it?
Yeah, so if no one remembers that, you obviously couldn't see it on the podcast, but Con had a lump taken out of his arm, and it's starting to heal over now, and it's just like a divot. In his arm.
It's a big
really
chunk
weird.
missing.
Yeah, it's
Looks
just
like someone's taken a bite out of my arm.
Yeah, it's like a crater. Like it's just really weird. It's like someone's photoshopped your arm.
It does, yeah. It looks like someone's just done that Photoshop.
Yeah. Well, they've just like bumped it
smudge.
down. Yeah, they've
Yeah.
smudged it, and it's like they've tried to edit something in the background. They've accidentally smudged your arm in the process. That's what it looks like. I mean, must be good to have it out though.
Yeah. It's healing up nice.
Yeah, exactly. What have you been playing?
I tried one that you gave a shout out the other
Oh
day.
yeah?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Teardown.
Oh yeah, so this is on PlayStation Plus, isn't it now? Yeah.
Yeah. Had a very nice Sunday where my nephew came over to my flat to hang out for lunch.
Yeah.
And we were playing some Teardown. He's only 3, so we basically taught him the button for Smash stuff.
Right.
And then I walked around whilst he was just constantly hammering the Smash button.
Excellent. How did it go?
Oh, it was really fun. Really fun. But then, like, I played a few missions of it as well. And it's really good. It's exactly what you want from that sort of game. Like, you can just be really creative. So, for example, one of the missions, so you just get random missions that you get sent over email and you have to go do them. And one of them was I had to steal 2 safes and throw them in the water. And then I had to steal something that set off an alarm and then escape before the timer.
Okay.
Right. So the safes are too heavy to move by hand. So what I did was got in a big like Tonka truck and just drove that through the bottom floor of the building, parked that up in the front room so that the big like skip thing that you carry stuff on is underneath the room where the safe's in above.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then I just smashed all of the floor out from underneath the safe. So the safe just fell down, went in the Tonka truck. I just backed that puppy up and tipped it in the water.
Tipped it in the water?
Yeah, that's what I had to do.
Oh, okay. You just like accidentally tipped it in the water.
No,
that was actually part of the mission you had to do.
Yeah.
And so you're enjoying what you played of it then?
Yeah, it's really fun. It's just demolition. And then every mission you unlock new stuff. Just unlocked the flamethrower.
Nice.
Yeah. So you can just do like different missions in different ways. But sometimes it's like if you set fire to too much stuff, it will set the alarm off. So then you've only got a certain amount of time. So you sort of have to like temper your destruction or not destruct the wrong bits.
Yeah. I get you. It's co-op, isn't it? From memory.
I didn't look actually.
Pretty sure you can do online co-op for it. When I was looking into it for the look ahead episode, I'm sure you could do online co-op or at least local co-op. Any luck?
Teardown does not have a multiplayer mode.
It doesn't?
No.
Oh, that's a shame. I thought that would be like an obvious thing to have in that game.
Yeah.
To have a multiplayer. Oh, maybe they'll add it in because I thought you might be a bit like Payday where you have different heists and stuff and you work together to complete them. That's strange.
I have found a Reddit post though that says Teardown multiplayer has been released. Maybe it's not multiplayer on console.
Yeah, maybe, because it's been out for a few months on PC anyway. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they had some sort of multiplayer into it.
Yeah.
Anything else you've been playing?
I did re-download Rocket League.
Yes. Yeah, you sent me a little screenshot.
Yeah.
How are you getting on?
I mean, I'm not as good.
Not as
good as I once was.
That's always the way, isn't it, with that game?
Did score a pretty fantastic bike though.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a combination. Demoed the goalkeeper. Ball bounced off the back wall. I drove in front of it. Smooth little bicycle kick, straight in.
Oh, lovely stuff. I can see it. I can see it happening.
Yeah.
I can see me putting the cross in for it right now.
Yeah.
So I started downloading it again, and the download was corrupt. So I've just got to re-download it again after the podcast. So that's good. That's exactly what happened with Fortnite as well. The download just got corrupt on the Epic Games launcher. So cheers for that.
Weird.
Yeah, weird. Speaking of Fortnite, I've been dabbling again.
Oh, he's back in. He's back on the Kool-Aid.
I say I've been dabbling. I've been playing it pretty relentlessly most evenings the last week or so.
Okay.
So yeah,
You're gonna get the new M&M skin that they've just announced.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, that nearly made me want to come back.
I did think of you when Carly told me about it today, and I thought, oh, that would Connor would absolutely love that.
I would buy that.
Be running around as Eminem. Yeah, you would just buy it straight out. You'd be like, how much is it? 2,000 V-Bucks? How much is that? 15 quid? Yeah, I don't even care.
That's fine. I got it.
Just get me in. But yeah, they've been doing the OG seasons over the last couple of weeks. And I've been playing it quite a lot, and it's really good. It's really good. It's just like a bit of a throwback to when it came out about 5 years ago. And like we all played it that summer, and it was super basic, and it didn't have loads of annoying characters and power ups and stuff. It was just guns, building, and that was it basically.
Lonely Lodge.
Yeah, exactly. And we had a song for each place. But yeah, me, Bex, and Pi have been playing it, and
oh, nice.
It's really good, man. It's really good. It just reminds me of how good that game was, and it's just a little bit sad that season's inevitably going to end soon, and we're not going to be able to carry on playing it unless they release it as like a separate mode.
They should just do classic mode.
Yeah, I wish they would.
What's the harm? I wish just leave it on there.
Just leave it on there. I think I wonder if they saw maybe their player base drop or steadily decline, and they're like, we need to get people back playing it, so let's do this OG season or something. Or it might have just been because it's like just, the 5 year.
It's a clever idea.
Yeah, well, it's got me back playing it, and I haven't played it for about 3 years.
You've been on the horse for years.
Well, yeah. I haven't played it for about 3 years, 3.5 years maybe. But it's really good. It's just the same game as it was a long time ago. Just loads of fun. The only thing I would say is they've added like quite a few bots into it though.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'd say like half the teams that are in there are bots. And they're just so blatantly bots. They added them ages ago, like just as I stopped playing it.
Is it to make people feel like they're doing better?
Maybe, yeah, because I think people got so sweaty with the building and stuff. It just got impossible.
No chance,
yeah, like unless you were prepared to quit your job and just play Fortnite, you're effectively never ever gonna get any better at it because you're just gonna get killed by people that don't have anything else to do. But it's really good. Yeah, exactly.
Building too high
and crumbling. Also, sorry, I was gonna say I've been playing Alan Wake 2 as well.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna wait a bit more until I've completed it because I think I'm about halfway through now.
Okay.
But for anyone that's not played it, please just play it because I think it might. I don't know yet. It's hard to say, but I think it might be my game of the year. It might be my game of the year. Bear in mind, Tis the Kingdom came out this year as well. I don't know yet. I'm not laying down the marker yet. But It's
I never
it's
thought I'd
so
even hear
good.
it.
It's so good, man. It's so good.
Sacrilege coming from you.
You need to play it. You need to play it because you would absolutely love it.
Yeah, I will.
We'll go into it a little bit more. I want to complete it first before I give a proper opinion on it. But as we're talking about Alan Wake 2, this week I wanted to have a chat about the Video Game Awards nominations.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go through not all the categories because there's like 30 categories or something like that. But we're going to have a look through, a skim read. There's a couple of little interesting topics surrounding this as well, which we can have a chat about as well. But overall, Game of the Year, the award itself, what do you make of it so far? Because I don't. Have you played many of these?
No. I think I've only played Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and that was at EGX.
Yeah.
Other than that, I haven't played any of them.
No, so the award, well, the nominations are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Resi 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Tears of the Kingdom. So I'm hoping I would have played. Well, I'll finish Alan Wake 2 probably maybe next couple of weeks, and then I'm going to play Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only other one that I haven't played on there is Baldur's Gate 3, which I think a lot of people were tipping to win
Baldur's
anyway.
Gate?
Baldur's Gate, yeah. Baldur's Gate.
I say Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's?
I
don't know really.
I'm too lazy to say Bal.
Baldur's.
It's more effort. Baldur's just sort of falls out of your mouth.
Boulder. Baldur's Gate, I suppose you could say as well. Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, I can say the 4 that I have played in there. So Alan Wake 2, Resi 4, Mario and Zelda, all worthy winners so far out of all of those. Like I just said to you, I think I would edge towards Tears of the Kingdom at the moment.
Yeah.
But I still haven't played Alan Wake 2. And like I said, Baldur's Gate 3 is the one that I've not played. And it's also the one that's like probably, I think it's got the bookies' favourite, if you know what I mean.
And also the reason I've not played that is because that would become the only game I play for the next 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. I think if I hadn't started Cyberpunk this year, like a couple of months ago, I might have played it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know people that have played it have said it's amazing. And they're really, really pleased with it. I think, yeah, as I said, like most people are kind of tipping it to win, but Alan Wake 2 and Baldur's Gate 3 have both got 8 nominations each.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty evenly contested in terms of nominations, but actual what takes Game of the Year, I don't know what's going to be yet. But actually, I should say as well that the show is December the 7th. So we might do a little preview for that. Because obviously they show like a lot of trailers and new video game announcements. I think it'd be good to do a preview and a review of it. Not a review, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it saves us coming up with content.
Yeah, don't have to use those backup episodes, do we? Save those for a different day. So yeah, that was Game of the Year. I think, like I said, we're not going to go through all of these because there's a lot on there. But
well, my first, I think you're about to roll into it. Best game direction, were you about to say?
Yeah.
What is this? Do we need this and Game of the Year? Because the nominations are exactly the same minus Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming, and I'm making assumptions, but I'm assuming only didn't get in because of some rule around best game direction not allowed to be a remake or something.
Well, I thought looking at it, it was because you could only have 5 nominations.
Okay.
So Game of the Year has 6, and then the rest of the categories look like they only have 5.
Yeah.
So I think that
so then it was 6th.
Oh yeah, effectively, yeah. We know. We can safely assume that was probably the 6th, the 6th highest rank for that particular category.
The point I'm making is, do we need best game direction and Game of the Year? Are they not just the same award at this point?
So I guess my argument for that would be, if you're going to just have Game of the Year, why have all the other categories? if that's where you stand with it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Because the game of the year is the combination of
Everything,
yeah, and then it's split out into.
They just look so weird side by side.
I do know what you mean. I do know what you mean. Yeah, I would have to say I think Alan Wake 2 will take that. I've not played Spider-Man or Baldur's Gate 3. I think in terms of actual direction, it's probably the strongest. It's definitely stronger than Mario Brothers Wonder. Not shitting on it because it's obviously in there, but from a purely game direction standpoint, I would say Alan Wake 2 has probably got a good chance of that.
I was just looking. What is the earliest release in Game of the Year?
I think in Game of the Year, it'd be Resi 4, which I think was March. Yeah, March or April. I'm pretty sure Resi 4 was out. End of March, rings a bell.
So many of them are just like really new, aren't they?
Yeah. Worst Game of the Year.
Yeah.
so they're a maximum of a year old.
No, but I just mean like even like contextually, they're very new. Like Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Mario Wonder. They came out really recently.
Well, yeah, and also like these nominations got announced like about 2 weeks ago, and I think Alan Wake 2 came out about 4 weeks ago. I know, obviously, they would have had like press copies and stuff like that.
They've been sweating it.
But best adaptation,
it's got to be Last of Us, right?
Probably. Yeah, I've not seen Castlevania Nocturne, Gran Turismo, Last of Us, Super Mario Bros. Movie, and Twisted Metal. I've only seen the Super Mario Bros. Movie and The Last of Us.
I feel bad, mate.
Why?
They probably heard last week's episode about Five Nights at Freddy's, and they're like, "Oh, we can't put that in there."
Can't put that in. Nah. Not after that. Not after that absolute swizz. Yeah, I don't think Gran Turismo reviewed very well. I've not really heard much on Twisted Metal. Kind of forgot it was coming out really. Castlevania Nocturne, not seen it. But Mario Brothers movie was great. I enjoyed it, and I thought The Last of Us was really good as well. A pretty good adaptation. So be interesting to see what that gets. I didn't even know that was a category till we were scrolling through these.
PlayStation Productions getting a heavy percentage of those nominations.
Well, yeah, fucking 60%, mate. 60% of that. Well, they're starting to move into that now anyway, aren't they? Like the movie stuff and all that jazz.
Oh, mate, I feel like I'm going to be really picky this episode.
Why?
Because the next one is best narrative.
Yeah. Go on then.
Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, Final Fantasy, and Spider-Man 2, right?
So what? So the three...
Well, no. Like, one of them's different than the others, isn't it?
What do you mean?
One of them's a DLC.
No. He's in one. He's in the mood.
I got a bad neck.
He's got a crick neck. We're doing a bloody Video Game Awards nominations episode, and he's not happy.
So was DLC considered in best game direction, or? I
don't know if DLC's got its own. I think DLC does have its own category, but we'll go through and find out in a minute. Yeah, I expect it will. It would have. I should have really looked before, but there's so many fucking categories. I was just like, we'll just roll with it. And
to be honest, that's not the only time in this list that Cyberpunk's going to be the thing that annoys me, so it will come up again later.
That's fine. Right, let's gloss through a few more of these quick. Best art direction, Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, which I'm glad to see is in there because that's a fucking brilliant game.
Nice to see Liza P in there too.
Liza P, which I would argue should win that, having played all 5 of those. Super Mario Bros. Wonder and Tears of the Kingdom. Again, all fucking beautiful looking games in their own way, but I think for art direction, it's got to go to Liza P or Hi-Fi Rush, surely. Best score and music, Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, which has got a fucking brilliant soundtrack. Hi-Fi Rush, again, another brilliant soundtrack.
Yeah.
The whole game's based around it. And Tears of the Kingdom 2, which if it doesn't win, I'll be really surprised if Tears of the Kingdom doesn't win that.
Yeah.
Personally.
I feel like Cocoon could have been in for a good shout there.
Yeah, you've been playing it, haven't you?
You've
been playing it.
Really interesting. It may be in audio design, which is the next one. Maybe in that I don't sort of know.
It's not.
It's like no. I mean, like maybe that's where it would fit better because
Right.
it's
Okay,
not
I get
really
you.
a score and well, it is a score and music, but a bit like Hi-Fi Rush. It's part of what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's more interactive. So I suppose maybe it's audio design.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. Well, audio design was Alan Wake 2 again. Dead Space, which is really good.
Yeah.
Hi-Fi Rush again.
Mhm.
Spider-Man 2 and Resident Evil 4.
Cocoon would have been good for that.
Yeah. I mean, I've not played it, but you seem to really rate it, and it's quite, like you said, a lot based around the audio design anyway, isn't it? What else we got? Best performance. So this
I like this category.
Yeah, it's nice. It's good that the actors get a bit of a bit of the spotlight as well.
Yeah.
So we have Ben Starr from Final Fantasy 16, who's brilliant, who's really funny on Twitter as well. He just takes the piss loads out of Clive, his character. Cameron Monaghan and Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, Melanie Liburd, Alan Wake 2, Neil Newborn, Baldur's Gate 3, and Yuri Lowenthal in Marvel Spider-Man 2. The only thing with this article, this is from Variety, if you're listening, would have been good if they'd have written which character they played as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's one later I also wish that they had written some extra detail on. Oh, it's the next one.
It is the next one.
Innovation in accessibility. That I really wish they had put, like, specifically what
was accessible about it.
Yeah, what they've done. Because it's like, I've played some of those games, but I've not really dabbled with the accessibility modes in any of them.
So we had Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6. And I totally agree with what you said there. I'm sure, to be fair, I could have looked into it a little bit more and found out exactly what that was. But this seemed like the most competent article, which had all the categories in neatly with the publishers and games, etc.
Yeah, appreciate your work, Variety, but do better.
Don't be sorry. Be better. Games for Impact, best ongoing game, best community support. Baldur's Gate 3.
Games for Impact. Shout out, Cheer's in there.
Oh, Cheer is in there. Yeah. You did. Yeah, that came out. Fucking hell, that came out this year.
Yeah. And Terra Nil. That's the one that you gave a shout out as well.
Yeah, that is the little like landscape builder thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Love that category. I like it when there's more varied categories.
Like best ongoing game. So,
well, funnily enough, this is where Cyberpunk comes back.
Right, okay.
Dipping its toes in where it's not welcome, in my opinion.
So I do agree with this because the other games are Apex Legends, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact.
That's Final Fantasy Online.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And then Cyberpunk 2077, which is released some DLC this year,
is
and
not
then gets best ongoing game.
Is not the same as any of those.
I totally
What
agree.
is the rules for that category? Cyberpunk has no business being there.
Not really. Because
any game that released the DLC is an ongoing game.
Yeah.
Like, what's the rules?
I guess though, it's like I don't know what the criteria for these categories are. It seems to just be like, if you've done an update this year, you're an ongoing game.
Everyone's done an update.
Maybe
which then that's just game of the year again.
Oh,
They've just chosen different ones.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, if it's up for that, why isn't it up for game of the year? That's another good question. Full of them this episode. Best community sport, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, No Man's Sky, and Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
Right. Best independent game. Now I want to have a little chat about this.
Yeah.
So we got in here Cocoon, Dave the Diver,
great game,
Dredge,
great game,
Sea of Stars, great game, and Viewfinder.
Not played it.
So
this is the one that I've played the most of, which actually I think maybe speaks to my.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, the type of games that I end up playing. But I've played 4 of those.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome though. That's why it's good having someone on that plays a lot of indies as well though. So I don't want to get too deep into this because it's not that sort of podcast, but I think it's worth going over. Now, best independent game, right? The category.
Yeah.
It's a strange one because, okay, so the main points to this that I want to bring up is, should Dave the Diver be nominated for this? And also, why wasn't Baldur's Gate 3 nominated in this category? Now, the reasons for that are Dave the Diver, right?
Yeah.
It comes with a caveat that it's published by Mint Rocket, right? Who are a subsidiary of Nexon, which is a massive South Korean publisher, which posted over £600 million worth of net revenue last year. And they publish a load of mobile games.
Yeah.
Like FIFA Online, FIFA Mobile, sorry, they do. Is that fair? Because like an independent game, right, should be self-published or kickstarted or, self-funded and released independently without the help of a publisher.
You're preaching to the choir, mate.
Yeah?
I'm already converted. I was just complaining about there not being enough rules. There needs to be rules in place.
Yeah, no, and that's why I'm bringing it up, because I think it raises another question of, like, what defines an independent game? Is it that, or and what's the difference between indie and independent? Like, to me, the word indie in the context of video games now seems more like a throwaway title, like, which has kind of become a buzzword that people use, like myself included at times, for games that are developed from, like, traditionally smaller studios.
Yeah.
But if we were being pedantic about it, you'd have to argue that only self-published games should be nominated in this category, right?
Yeah, there's a really interesting article that I read the other day that makes a good comparison. So it's Tyler Wilde is his name.
Right.
And it's on PCGamer.com.
Yeah.
And it's titled, Should Facts or Vibes Determine Whether an Indie Game is Really Indie?
Yeah.
And there was a point in it where it talks about, like, the use of the word indie and how in some contexts it already doesn't mean, like, the same thing. It doesn't mean independent. For example, indie rock.
Yeah,
and he says, like, the Strokes being an indie rock band,
Yeah.
They're releasing on Sony or whatever. They're not indie. And that almost feels like what they've based their description of indie on. When in reality, I think actually it doesn't mean that to the games community.
Nah.
And to the games industry as well. It means a game that's, like, independently developed and released.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm fully on board. Why isn't Baldur's Gate 3 in there? Why is Dave the Diver in there? In the same way that best ongoing game shouldn't have Cyberpunk in.
yeah. No, that's totally fair. And also, I should say, like, the Dave the Diver's amazing game as well.
I think it should have been Game of the Year in the Game of the Year list. So
that would be your Game of the Year, would it?
Out of all the games I've played that are released this year,
yeah, that would be yours. Okay, and, like, Sea of Stars as well, which is fucking fantastic. I'm not sure.
They would never get Game of the Year because they would never give it to, like, a pixel art game.
An indie game.
It would never be given to an indie game.
Well, it might do. It might go this year, though, because it might go to Baldur's Gate.
That's true.
Which is by definition
that
an
would be
independently
delicious.
Released game.
That would be delicious, wouldn't it?
That would. I think they will give it to Baldur's Gate 3 personally, just based on what people have said about it and the reviews, and the fact that it is an independently released game. I'd be surprised if they don't give it to that. I think it would be between that and Alan Wake personally, from the ones I've played. But what the fuck do I know? I've not even played it. It might be fucking garbage. People might just be lying. People might be saying it's amazing. It might be
it's
rubbish.
Not a real game.
It's just not even a real
an
game.
Inside joke. It was never released. There's just people. So once you start playing it, it's just a black screen and just says, "Don't tell anyone." But basically, you've just got to keep.
It's a ruse.
It's a really sick game. Just tell
everyone. We need to win Game of the Year
for a non-existent game. Best debut indie game, which I also quite like. I think there's one that's definitely not here, which I think should be. Just to sort of derail the conversation a little bit.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Best original IP.
That's not a category.
No.
Wow, that is
It should
surprising.
be. Like, it's such a hard thing that should be rewarded. Like, making an original IP,
Yeah.
like the best one each year. It's like, that's cool. It's really cool. Yeah, best debut indie games got Cocoon again, Dredge, Pizza Tower, Venba, and Viewfinder.
I've not played any of those. Cocoon and Dredge are both on my list. So
Yeah.
is Viewfinder saying that. I've not heard of the other two.
They're both
But
very good.
from watching stuff on it, you know, when we did the Reflect Select and stuff, Viewfinder looks fucking amazing. Looks like such a cool idea.
Yeah.
Same as Cocoon, really. Like a really unique idea.
Yeah, I love that.
But yeah, what would you give it to out of those?
It's tough because I've not finished Cocoon. I would like to finish Cocoon before I decided. At the moment, I prefer Dredge.
Yeah.
But I haven't finished Cocoon. There's still a way to go, so...
Yeah, okay. That's fair. Best mobile game? I'm not doing that. Best VR game? Best VR game? I don't have a VR headset, so none of those really mean anything to me.
Not doing that.
Not doing that one. And then we sort of go into like the sort of genre categories here, like best action game, best action adventure. It's weird. It's kind of like
no horror.
Is there not? Is there no horror?
No horror category.
See, that's weird, isn't it? Yeah, there's not. There's best action game, best action/adventure game.
What, really?
I know. And then best RPG, best fighting game, best
lonely.
family game, best sim/strategy game, best sports/racing game. I guess they've just rolled the subgenre of horror into best action game or best action adventure. But then I suppose you could have a horror RPG or a horror racing game. It's not going to happen, is it?
Best multiplayer.
Yeah, best multiplayer presented by Discord. Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, which I've not tried yet, which I really, really want to try. It looks like Fall Guys, but better.
Yeah, it looks sick. It looks a bit like Gang Beasts.
Yeah, definitely. And Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Most anticipated game.
Which is a
quite
weird
an interesting
category to do.
Yeah, it is weird.
How do you measure that?
Yeah, like how
it's such a feeling.
I know. Yeah, it's like how is that done on like how many views the trailer has on YouTube or something like that? Yeah. Final Fantasy VII, Hades 2, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8. Just out of curiosity, what's your most anticipated game out of those?
Hades 2, I think.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. And Final Fantasy VII and Star Wars Outlaws, which I thought looked fucking awesome.
Mine will probably go Hades 2, then Like a Dragon, then Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah. That's. I'd tell you what, if next year is as good for video games as this year was, then
it's been a great
year. We're in for a
man.
bloody treat, aren't we? Then we'll go into.
There's weirdly loads of
esports
section. Ones.
Yeah.
There's so many about esports.
So there's Content Creator of the Year, Iron Mouse, People Make Games, Quackity, Spreen, Cypher PK. No Reflect in that category.
Yeah.
Which is why we're just going to carry on. Best esports game.
Embarrassing for them. They must have forgot. Miscounted or something.
Absolutely shocking.
Best esports game.
Best esports game. Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, PUBG Mobile, and Valorant. You got anything on that? You're keen into your
no, I mean,
a bit?
I'm into esports. No, I mean, like, again, it's a weird category, but I suppose it makes sense, doesn't it? Like, because not all sports games are in and not all esports games are sports, but yeah, and I mean, they are probably the biggest ones, aren't they?
These are going to be the ones at the start of the show, aren't they?
Yeah, I find it quite funny about best esports athlete.
Yeah, so I was just going to go on to these because these the last four are amazing. It's like best esports athlete, best esports team, best esports event, and then best esports coach. So they've got the manager in there as well.
Yeah, Zonic's in there on the esports coach.
I was going to say so I'm completely not indifferent, but I don't really watch esports, and I know you do watch a little bit. Yeah. So is there anything jumping out at you for that one?
Best esports athlete, Zai Wu. Godlike French Orpa.
Godlike French Orpa, Zai Wu.
Yeah.
He's the CS:GO guy,
Oh
right?
yeah, mate. Google's ZywOo clips. Do yourself a
I
favour.
reckon you might have sent me some on
I
Discord
have.
when we were maybe
Yeah.
when we
When
were
we
recording the
spoke
pod
about the
actually.
CS:GO episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was because they were the team that were in the final.
Yeah.
That we talked about. Vitality.
Oh yeah, Team Vitality. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Friend of the show, Charlie Pond, if you're listening, which hopefully you are. You're into Counter Strike, aren't you? We're going to play some soon. But if I don't know if you watch any esports, but if you do, let us know and let us know who your favourite esports coach is.
Who's your favourite esports coach?
Or what your favourite esports event is. That's fine. They should do that at the Ballon d'Or next year. They should be like best
esports.
best league match, like best football tournament. Probably just give it to the World Cup again. Well, there's your categories. The only thing I did want to mention before we wrap up is remakes. Now, Dead Space and Resident Evil 4 both were featured in those lists. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you make of that then? Especially with the news of this remaster of Last of Us 2 been announced recently as well. And,
you know,
all the I wouldn't say controversy, but there's been a little bit of
commentary,
bit of backlash, a bit of discourse on the subject, about it being, is it worth it? Like, it's only been out 3 years. What qualifies for one of these remakes to get nominated for Game of the Year for you?
Well, what I would say on the point is Game Awards get in touch. If you want to restructure the rules around how we do this, I'm more than happy to sit down and work through it. I think I'll quite enjoy it, to be honest. So I'd probably do it for next to nothing.
We can get a Zoom call going. Don't worry about the fee. We'll waive it.
Yeah, no, I think maybe if I was doing it, you would have like remakes as a section on its own, and then they wouldn't be able to take up a spot for Game of the Year, but they could get Best Remake of the Year.
So I did think this, right, when I was looking at that and having a think about this. But what if there's no remakes that year?
Easy win for someone then.
Easy win.
Knock out
Just
a ship
default.
one a few weeks before the announcements. Default
it's
win.
Just like, I have remade this. It's fine. It's called something remake.
It's a D-make.
Yeah, best D-make category as well. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think that's probably why it doesn't have its own category, but then I don't know. You could maybe throw it into like some weird little like ancillary category that's like a bit of a nothing nomination. But my personal opinion on it is that if it's made as a full remake and not just a remaster, then it's fine. Okay, it's fine in my eyes. So I know the story and the bones of the game are like already there and the structure, but that is like, look at Resi 4 and Dead Space, and they're built from the ground up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They are built from the ground up. I'd say Resi 4 obviously deviates a lot, not a lot more, but it deviates more from the story, whereas I think Dead Space is way more of a carbon copy. But then, look at Final Fantasy VII, like how much they have digressed from the original story. Like it still follows the same thread, but they've added so many plot elements in. It is so different. You've got to class that as its own game, even though it is technically a remake.
Well, I suppose it's really hard to get really nitpicky with it, right? So, for example, if a game is quite often a game will have a different version that they'll release like onto Switch, so they can keep it at a higher frame rate and better performance.
Yeah.
So there'll be a different. So technically, that is a different game to the one that they would have released on, say, PC or PlayStation.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you treat them separately?
I think that's where the line needs to be drawn, doesn't it? It's there has to be some sort of official criteria that states, but then it just gets like you said, in a grey area where it's like, how pedantic do you want to be? Because
would Counter-Strike 2 be nominatable for the remakes category that we just made up?
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's tricky, isn't it?
I love
It's
these
tricky.
conversations.
It's tricky though, because it is very much CS:GO, isn't it? But
it's same maps, same
have they
games.
changed enough mechanically? Not saying that you have to change the mechanics, but enough noticeably that you can go, this is clearly like a completely different game now.
But as per your definition a minute ago, you said it's like if they've been rebuilt from the ground up,
Then it's fine, yeah.
then it's fine, and that is exactly
But I
what they
stand
did.
by,
That's
yeah.
Counter-Strike. That's
Yeah,
CS:GO to
okay.
CS2.
But that's a different question. Is because CS2 is not a remake of CS:GO,
isn't it?
Well, that's another question.
How do you define remake?
That's now we're getting now we're getting in the rabbit
into
hole
the weeds.
Yeah, exactly. I think as long as it's not like a HD remaster,
yeah,
or something along those lines. I think if it's a remake, Dead Space, I'm having it. I'm allowing it. Okay, I'm allowing it.
I'm allowing it. I have
It's
drawn
allowed
the line.
in there. That's a proper. That's a new game.
Yeah.
That's a new game with a completely new feel, a completely new experience. Ish. Same as Resi 4. I'm having it. On the other hand, Last of Us 2 remastered. If that's anywhere near these fucking awards next year, I will kick off because that's completely different. That's completely different.
Interesting way you draw your lines, isn't it?
All over the place, squiggly lines.
Squiggly. Wherever I want them to be, baby.
Like Mr. Messi. Like the line goes where I want it to go.
They call me Lionel.
Lionel Messi. Messi Lionel.
Squiggly Lionel Messi. I've lost it this episode.
That's good. We're going to wrap it up in a minute anyway. Well, there's your video game award nominations. So we'll have a look forward to the actual show on the 7th of December. We'll do a little preview. Might do some predictions because they do show like quite a lot of new stuff. And we could do predictions for the actual winners.
Oh, which ones we thinking of?
Yeah.
Probably should have done that this episode.
Nah, it's all right because otherwise it'd be about 2 hours long. It's all right.
They have been getting longer.
It's a free episode. It's because they're just getting better. They're getting better, mate.
Yeah, more to talk about. More knowledge.
More knowledge. Right, this week's Reflect Selects them. This is a weird game. This is called Sons of Saturn. And it's out on Thursday the 30th of November on PC. Developer, the Saturn Studio. Well, they've never done anything before. Now, let me just read this out. Sons of Saturn is a narrative-focused adventure game set in a collapsing underground city, brought to life using photos of real-life abandoned locations as assets. Experience both wonder and horror as you explore the city of Minerva, where the dead dream and memories cling to life. This looks well weird.
Mate,
but in a good way.
Yeah, I love that art style.
Yeah.
The imagery looks so cool.
And it's really fucking weird, isn't it?
Like watercolour, but almost... What's it called? Like when you change the exposure, you put the exposure really high, so it almost like bleeds, the colours are bleeding into each other.
Yeah.
But then they've switched it out for like nice pastel-y shades.
Yeah, it's like it's like really unnerving, isn't it? And eerie.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like old school, like 90s point and click adventure games. Yeah.
I would say I'm not a big fan of the UI.
Nah, but I think they've almost done that deliberately, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To make it look like
more classic.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like these actual real pictures that, like you said, have been edited and exposed to look kind of uncanny valley, sort of like weird and eerie, and you can't quite place your finger on it, but it's a bit of like a point and click adventure game. And I thought it looked pretty cool, so I thought I'd give it a shout out. There's no trailer for it, which is a shame, but it's almost quite apt as it uses still images as like most of its background all the time. But that's called Sons of Saturn, and it's out on Thursday 30th of November on PC. Connell, what have you got out on Loot the Truth YouTube this week?
One that we mentioned the other day. It is your first game of CS Counter-Strike since Source. Reflect's first game since Source Counter-Strike.
Nice. I'm excited to see my performance or lack of performance on this.
Yeah, it's good, mate. It was good. Like I said, put in some good clutches.
Yeah.
Good in the pistol round.
Great in the pistol round. Not so great in the others. But got to be good at something, haven't you?
You did fine, mate.
Got to be good at something. Nice say it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's all you're getting.
That's it. That's all you're getting. You have to watch to find out more. Well, socials. Hey There Reflect on Instagram and Twitter. Drop us a follow. Drop us a like.
X.
Give us a message. Give us an email. heytherereflect@gmail.com if you want to ask us a question or you want your name. If you want a shout out on the podcast, we can do that as well. Connor will give you a little shout out.
Yeah.
But other than that, that'll do us this week.
It's not called Twitter anymore, by the way.
Oh, sorry, it's called X, but I'm just going to call it Twitter to piss off Elon Musk.
Get it right.
Get it right.
Finally.
Well, at last. Well, that'll do us for this week, guys. Thanks for listening, and thanks as always, Con, for joining.
My pleasure, mate.
And we'll see you all in episode 38.
Gianni.